Is your washer doing this? If so, I'm going to show you how to diagnose and repair this machine. All right, today I'm going to show you how to diagnose and repair this issue if your washer is just constantly humming. The humming you're hearing is the pump. So this is the symptom here. Basically, as soon as you plug in your machine, it takes it a couple seconds, and when it kicks on, it's just going to constantly hum and pump. So let's wait for that to kick on, see how long that takes. Just like that. So if that's what you're hearing, this is the right video for you. Now this could be a couple things. 9 times out of 10, this is a bad control board because there is a sensor on the board that tells the machine when it needs to pump, when it needs to, take the water out of the machine, and that sensor does go bad. So let me show you what to check first before you replace your control. What I'm using today to work on this machine is a drill with a 1/4 inch bit, 1/4 inch bit, and then some type of scraper or something to this degree. So the first thing we're going to check is the fill hose, which it runs from the board all the way down to the tub. If that has a kink in it, it can cause this issue, and it's as simple as unkinking it, replacing the fill hose, or snipping a little bit of it back and then re-putting it back in place and getting that blockage out of the way. So let's check that first. I'm going to show you how to check that. We're going to remove 1, 2, 3 screws there so we can pop up this top control panel. So to get this top up on this machine, it's pretty simple. You're going to pull this back towards you, so it's kind of offset like this. Then you're going to pull it up on the machine and then push it back forward. And then it's going to allow you to lift the whole top. And then if you want to let the back sit down in those little tabs there, you can kind of tilt it and let that lean against the wall, just like that. Once we have the top up on the machine, you're going to look for this clear tube here, and then it runs down right down there into your tub. And what that does, that runs up to your pressure sensor, and that's going to tell the machine if it's full of water, out of water, etc. So sometimes I've popped the top on these and they're constantly pumping like I showed before, and this tube right here that goes to the tub is simply very, very kinked. So this is not kinked, so it's perfectly fine, but if this is kinked over like this, it can definitely cause that issue. If that is kinked, you're going to simply pull this off and remove it, and then you're going to cut this a little short and then put it right back on. And I like to put a zip tie or something like that back around it so it's on there nice and tight. The proper way to do that would technically be replacing the entire thing, but if you're in a pinch, you can just cut it back and then put it back on. So we're going to put this back because that wasn't the case, and I'm going to show you how to check the control board. Well, at this point, if that's not the case, your next bet will be to go ahead and replace the control board. So that would be what you do next. Now, before you replace it, I would contact Whirlpool and see if potentially your machine is still under warranty. If that's the case, they will replace it for free. But if it's not under warranty, let's go ahead and get into replacing it. So what we're gonna do, get your scraper or putty knife, push back on one side, push up, and then we're gonna repeat the process on the other side. So we're gonna get in the corner here, push in, and then pull up on that. Once your control panel is popped up, you're simply just going to lift up and pull it back, and then that gets us to your control board here. So from here, we're just going to disconnect everything, and then we're going to install the new control board. All right, so now I'm going to show you which wires to disconnect so we can go ahead and remove this old control board. I'm also going to show you another model. If your model, the control panel looks like this, it may be slightly different. The board is going to be very similar, but it might be different when you replace the board. There's a couple screws versus this one is these little clips you just have to squeeze in to pull out. So if you do have this one, it's very simple as well. You just take the screws out and then remove it, but the removal of the wires is the same exact process. So when you have it like this, make sure your machine is unplugged first, and then I'm going to show you which wires to disconnect. This is your power cord here, so we're going to disconnect that. So now that's disconnected, we're going to disconnect this cord here, which is going to the bottom of the machine. It's kind of like your main wiring harness, as well as this one over here. And when you're disconnecting these, they do have a little clip, so you can simply push that clip in when you come to pull it out. This one's a little more fragile, so just be a little careful when you're removing it. But you can basically just push that up, and then this is going to come right out. Then we're going to remove our pressure sensor tube, and a lot of times that is the main issue. So it's because this is built into the board, and some of these newer boards seem to have a manufacturer defect. So that was what's going on with them. That's most likely why your machine is doing this. And then this wire here going to your water valve. We're going to remove that as well. And then we're going to take all that off. So the only difference is this machine has previously been worked on. So you're going to have a little clip, and usually you just have to pop this clip up. That holds some of the wires in when you're taking that out. As well as there's two clips here. You can pull really hard and take them out, or you can simply snip them with like wire cutters or something like that. And just to get, because these wires will be held in these little harness points here. So you will have to remove all those, either cut them, and this one you just pop open, and then you'll just take all your wires out. So next we're just going to pull the knob off the front of the machine. So you just literally pull this, and it comes right off. Try not to drop your control panel. Now I'm going to get some needle nose pliers. That's the only additional thing I didn't mention at the beginning of the video. You will use needle nose pliers to squeeze this, just so we can pull this. I couldn't quite find my needle nose pliers, so I'm going to use these. Anything with the, you know, little point on the end will work. So I just squeeze this side here, and then you're just going to kind of lift up at the same time just to release it from these clips. So we squeeze those, and then that released. So then we're just going to disconnect these two wires here that are going to your wash temp and water level, as well as your rinse options. And then we'll be able to remove that entire control board. So we're gonna push up on these two tabs and just pull these right out. So we got these removed, and now we're able to completely remove the control board. And then it's ready to be replaced with the new one. I was fortunate to have a replacement in the shop, so I don't have to purchase a new one, fortunately for me. You can check eBay for used parts. That's probably where I would go for the best bargain on getting another control board. If you get the new board in and it doesn't work, eBay has a great return policy as well. So let's go ahead and install this. So we're gonna set this in place, and then we're gonna push it down so it clips onto those clips there. Oh, I made a mistake. We're gonna make sure that that tab goes underneath. Let me try that again. Now that we have that tab underneath on that side, then we can push this in, make sure those clip in place, and then we can start reconnecting our wires. So we'll start with the black and red wire here. We're simply just gonna push those in, and now we're gonna reconnect all the rest of our wires. I'll start with this one, nice and easy. Then we're gonna grab our other ones here, down to the lid switch, main harness. We got our power, fill sensor tube, and then what's left? Oh, one more for our water valve. All right, now that that's put in place, we're gonna put the control panel back in place. Putting your panel back in place, just make sure these slide in on each side so you're able to clip it down. And then we can put our knob back on, nice and easy. There we go. Now we're gonna plug it in. So if we plug it in and it doesn't immediately hum, that's a very good sign. So let's go ahead and plug that in, and let's see what this washer does. No hum. You heard a few clicks. That's just telling you that the board and everything is on. So let's start it up and see if it works. All right. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Just gonna put it on normal, or we can test it with a rinse and spin first, and let's see if it starts adding water. I hear the actuator shifting back over. And it should start adding shortly. Lid lock, lid unlock. And sometimes if this takes a couple seconds, don't freak out. the board is just trying to figure out what's going on. So here we go, it's working out. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this cycle here, and then I'm gonna show you how to calibrate the machine, because after you replace a part, especially like the board, it's good to recalibrate it so the machine knows exactly what's going on. So once you turn this to the left to clear it out, we're gonna go right, 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 left, right, until all these lights are flashing. The camera makes this look a little weird. All these lights will be solidly flashing when it's in test mode. So like I said, the camera makes the lights look a little funky, but all these are just blinking all at the same time. And then we're gonna turn this over till it says rinse, just that light by itself. We're gonna press start. So the machine will go through a full calibration. You'll see the lights going back and forth. It's gonna lock the lid, it's gonna add water, it's gonna do a few different things. After you're calibrated, you're 100% ready to go, and your machine should be back to washing, and you're good to go. If you're having this issue, I really hope that I could help you out with this video today. Let me know in the comments if your machine was doing the same thing. If you have any additional questions, just drop them down below. Thanks for watching.